What's Project 2025? It's a nightmare. That's all I can say. It is an absolute nightmare.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is a very interesting video and everybody's talking about the project 2025, and for me I'm just like, okay, I need to know about this, but a lot of people are talking about this and I feel like that some people are just like, oh, what's the project 25 and all that. But what has drawn more attention to this project 25 is Taraji Henson at the BET award. She called out people to go do research on the project 2025 so that they can vote better, so that they can vote rightly, because this project 2025 is coming for us, it's coming for the minority, it's coming for women. And I find this really interesting because a couple of days before BET, I saw Kerry Washington, yes, Olivia Pope, yeah, I saw her did a post talking about how the Supreme Court has passed the law that as a president, whatever crime committed as a president, you're not going to be, you're immune to it, you're not going to be persecuted with it. And she went on to break it down how that affects and how this is going to affect the election coming up in the United States. And I find this very interesting because when I went and actually looked into what the project 2025 is, it's very interesting because some of the laws that are going to be passed for this project 2025 is the fact that women's rights are going to be taken for rights to their body. And for me, that, if you know me, I'm very passionate about that, and I'm like, okay, you know what, we need to talk about this more, we need to get ourselves informed. If you don't know about project 2025, please let us, like, go do your research on it. If you know about project 2025, educate us more down in the comment section so that people can make more informed decisions before they vote and vote rightly. Anyway guys, let's go check out what Kerry Washington and Taraji PNC has to say about the project 2025 and how this election in the United States is going to pan out and their thought on the Supreme Court law. Anyway guys, let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
So yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled that the president is immune from criminal prosecution. So I'm going to say something right now that may sound extreme to you, but this is not an exaggeration. Please listen to me very carefully. This decision is a blueprint for dictatorship. This decision lays the groundwork for a president to do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whomever they want. And the only thing standing in the way of that happening is you, your voice, your vote. Okay, let me explain. So according to the Supreme Court, the conservative court that was made possible by Trump's first term in office, according to that court, the president of the United States is now immune from criminal prosecution for actions he takes as a president while in office. So what does that mean? Well, as my sister from the Bronx, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, explained, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said that that decision means that Trump could order the military opponent with zero consequences. So this is how democracies in other countries have failed in recent years. It's not by wars, it's not by coups, it's through elected governments using methods to chip away at the power of the people until we have no power at all to hold those governments accountable. So if Donald Trump is reelected, there will be very little that we can do to stop him from using the power of the White House however he wants. There are reasons to feel frustrated with our democracy. I get it. I feel it. We have a long fight ahead of us to have this country really live up to its ideals. But this year, I am telling you, our actual freedom is on the ballot. And I am terrified that the belief that too many of us have that our votes don't matter could mean that one day in the very near future, they actually won't matter at all. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. I want to inform you. I want to remind you of the power that you do have. Right now, it is not too late. You have power. You can share this video with friends and family and loved ones. I think voting is an act of self-love, of self-care. Voting and volunteering, donating to organizations that fight for democracy. These are the things that we can do, that we have to do to take care of ourselves and our community and each other right now. Please, this country needs you. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. You matter.
I'm telling y'all, you better show up and show out with them ballots. I'm being serious now. I know I look good, but it's a serious time. I need y'all to listen. Show up and show out when it's time to vote, because it's not just about the presidential election, you guys. It's time for us to play chess, not checkers. It's about making decisions that will affect us as human beings, our careers, our next generations to come. Did you know that it is now a crime to be homeless? Pay attention. It's not a secret. Look it up. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up. They are trying to bring the draft back. Who do you think they're going to draft first? I'm not trying to scare us. I'm trying to inform us. We got 3 Supreme Court seats up, you guys. We need those seats, or we have no protection. Okay, I got it out my system. Our next performer, yes, serious. I'm talking to all the mad people that don't want to vote. You're gonna be mad about a lot of things if you don't vote.
Please let me know what you think about what Karen Washington and Taraji said. What are your own thoughts down in the comment section? Go share your thoughts. But I find this very, very interesting. And let me know if you have any insight of what the Project 2025 is, because there's a lot of people really talking about the Project 25, and including what Karen Washington said about the Supreme Court ruled towards the president being immune for persecution for any crime committed as a president. But I really find this very interesting, because I know somebody will say, Destiny, you're in Nigeria, why are you covering an American news? Most of my audience are from America. My Destiny is saying that over 90-something% are from the United States, and I also want to get myself educated and informed. So I know I could easily go do read up, which I've done a couple of read up on the Project 2025. But I also want to know what you think about the Project 25, and what are your thoughts, and what are your thoughts generally, your fears, your hope, and all that. I really want to know. But I also feel like this is also an amazing conversation to have as people generally in the world, especially as votes, because even in the United States, they even feel like their votes don't, a lot of people still feel like their votes don't count. Even here in Nigeria, in my society, in my country, a lot of us still feels like our vote don't count. And especially in a country like mine, where a lot of violence is being done physically during election and election period. I find this really interesting. I know I have some Nigerians here watching too, so I feel like this is just a place for us to start educating ourselves and informing ourselves about the politics that is being played around us, because I feel like the politics, when it's being played, we feel it doesn't affect us, but it ends up affecting us. Anyway, I'm going to share more of my thoughts on this later on, but also I want to know what you think down in the comment section. These 2 videos got people talking, and a lot of people are sharing their thoughts on the Project 2025, what they think about it, if they stand or if they're against it, and the entire political system that is going on, and the election coming up in the United States. So anyway, before we go check out people's thoughts on this, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and smash the subscribe button, because we have amazing conversation here on this channel. Click the notification bell so that you get notified once I upload video, because I post video every single day, and you don't want to miss out on the conversation we're having here. Okay, so let's go check out what people think about the Project 25 and what it is entirely, what it is. If you don't know what the Project 2025 is, just watch. They're going to educate us here and read the comment too. And if you know what the Project 2025 is, please go down and educate us down in the comment section. So let's go check it out.
If you haven't been reading about Project 2025, I suggest that you look it up, because, you know, it's really rubbed me the wrong way how I feel like at this point, because there's so much information and because so many people are talking about it. If you are actively not talking about it or posting anything, resharing anything, it's at this point where you're dodging the content. Like, you're literally dodging the content. But I bring that up because it seems as though the threat has to be at your door in order for you to care about humanity. And so it will be. I don't mean this to scare people or nothing like that, but humanity is our responsibility to uphold. And it doesn't just happen here in America. Yeah. It happens everywhere. You share that consideration with everyone. Yeah.
4 absolutely wild policies Trump wants to implement in a second term. First, he wants to allow ICE to conduct raids in schools, in churches, in hospitals, and in playgrounds. He wants to arm teachers. The same teachers who have to spend their own money for classroom supplies would be armed with weapons. Speaking of schools, Trump wants to reverse the Biden administration's student debt relief efforts. Almost 4 million Americans have had their student loans canceled thanks to President Biden. Trump would undo all of that. Finally, Trump wants a national abortion ban. A second Trump term would mean our reproductive freedoms are on the chopping block. Because Republicans are not stopping at overturning Roe v. Wade. They are coming for birth control and they're coming for IVF. And that's why every single one of us needs to show up and vote this November.
If you cannot afford to move out of this country within the next year, I need you to take Project 2025 and Trump potentially getting reelected very seriously, because if it happens, Trump and his supporters have every intention of taking the livelihood away from a lot of people. If it's already hard for you to take care of your financial responsibilities, to take care of your family, if it's hard for you to find medical aid for yourself or people that you love, Trump is going to make that harder. They plan to put policies in place that will make it very hard for everyone to live in this country unless you have a 6-figure salary. No one is exaggerating, and I understand that with the political climate that we're in, it can be very overwhelming, and I understand people that choose to ignore it. However, no one is exaggerating when they say our livelihoods are at stake. It's not going to be a rough 4 years. It's going to be a rough 20 years. It's going to be a rough 30 years, 40 years, because they're putting policies in place that are going to last.
So yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled that the president is...
So yesterday really doesn't matter today, because today is a new day, and y'all steady voting for these Democrats and Republicans, which makes no sense to me. Because none of them do what they say they're going to do. There are 3 parties. Democrat, Republican, and Independent. Y'all never vote for the Independent party. Really? Never. We've never had an independent president. Never. Why? Is the question. Let's do something new this year. Let's flip the switch on their ass. Vote for an independent person that's running. Because most likely they are for the people.
That's a twist.
If you haven't heard of Project 2025, it is a project written by a large group of Republicans that is to be handed to the next Republican candidate so that he can implement it into his presidency. Basically, it is a plan for the next term if the next candidate is a Republican. If you haven't heard of Project 2025, it is very scary. I'm 19 years old, I'm biologically female, and I'm a member of the LGBT community. I can hide the fact that I'm gay, but I can't hide the fact that I was born a woman. And women are one of the targets of 2025. If 2025 is passed, Republicans are seeking to completely ban abortion altogether, no matter the circumstances. Project 2025 also seeks to rewrite the definition of marriage, which includes getting rid of gay marriage. Project 2025 plans to ban all gender-affirming healthcare. Please don't let a bunch of rich white men whose rights have never been questioned since the beginning of our country dictate our future.
Why are you voting for Trump? All I ever hear is, oh, because Project 2025 is so scary. But no one can ever tell me why Project 2025 is so scary. So I'm thinking about doing a whole series on here where we literally read through Project 2025 and debunk everything. Project 2025 is literally being used by the Democrats to scare voters into voting for Biden. Or I guess just not for Trump. First thing I'll say is that this project, it's not Trump's. A lot of Democrats will scare you and tell you that this is Trump's project, and it is not.
Okay. What the hell is Project 25? Like, this is serious. I'm not even joking right now. This is serious. Why are they cutting education? Why are they cutting Department of Education? Like, they're taking away Department of Education. Wait, what? This is gonna gonna affect from K1 to 12. Literally. I thought kids have right to education. What is going on? That is not all. I thought that was all, but no. Affect us women. You, if you're a female, it's gonna affect us so bad. They're taking out birth control, honey. Birth control, no more depo, no more, your pills, nothing like that. You're taking that stuff out. That's crazy. Not only that, abortion is off the road. The Republicans are like, they're like on our neck. Abortion is off the road. Like, when a mistake happens, no, you don't have no right no more. You can't get rid of it. No, it's not happening. Not only that, even though you have a medical condition and you can have that case, you can't even have an abortion. It's done. Literally. Not only that, the LGBT group, I hope I'm saying it right. Please forgive me if I'm not. It's under it. Literally, they could fire you for being gay. They could just be like, look at you, and just like, you're fired because you're gay. They could fire you because of your sexuality. Yes, stand up and go vote. That's what I'm trying to say. Stand up and go vote. They have 1,000 pages. I'm not reading that, but it's like, I'm just hearing that now. I'm just hearing it right now. We need to stop joking on this app. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my God. Get up and go vote. Thank you. Thank you. Leave a like and follow, and we could talk about it in the comments. Hallelujah.
Because of Taraji P. Henson at the BET Awards the other night, Project 2025 is like one of the top things that are being Googled. And I'm sitting here contemplating politics right now. I normally don't talk about politics, but I'm considering it right now because also all over my FYP is people talking about Project 2025. And I really just have like a question about to what lengths people will go for money, because Project 2025 has obviously been going already. Like, we're already in it. The foundations of this plan have already been laid. People are already executing the plan, hence what the Supreme Court justices are doing and all of that. But what lengths, like, do we really believe that the Supreme Court justices are doing these things because they're receiving money for them? I mean, is it just money? Or is someone like holding their family? I just can't imagine that you are in the highest court of the land and you're willing to just roll over so easily.
I noticed the more Taraji P. Henson speaks up about anything, she hasn't been in the best position this last year. And after the BET Awards, the whole little like situation with Keith Lee, before that, her being underpaid and talking about it. And we all know what happens when you do that as a woman of color. Things literally don't, it's not so easy after that. Your work isn't easy. Your opportunity is cut slim. So her talking about Project 2025 at the BET Awards, I think, was something really brave to do. And it goes to show, like, who's really there when times get rough for the people. But her bringing light to Project 2025 and seeing everyone, like, actually, like, talk about it and the information grew like wildfire. I mean, on the news, social media, other personalities talking about it, other celebrities. I think she really pushed the envelope when it came to that. And I think it was really important. And all of a sudden now, a couple of days later, Trump is tweeting that he had no idea about it. He has nothing to do with it. Y'all, another lie, more lies, lies. He knew, but let's be real. But not only that, we've seen so much more people acknowledge it at this point. And I think it's because Taraji really just went for the neck, went for the jugular when it came to it on live television.
Last night at the BET Awards, Taraji mentioned Project 2025, and so many people have been researching exactly what that is. One of the initiatives of Project 2025 is to completely gut the Federal Department of Education. And it got me to thinking, a lot of people don't even understand how the government is structured and what departments belong to it. I talk a lot on my page about the departments of labor in different states, but there are so many more departments. So let's start with the basic definition of what exactly is the government. The government is an entity whose job it is to govern a group of people. And our government is broken up into 3 levels: the federal government, the state government, and for the purpose of this video, the local government. This is different than the branches of government, such as the executive, judicial, or legislative branches. Just wanted to point that out. So going back to how the government governs its people, it's broken up into departments, commissions, courts, parties, etc. And these departments are given power, funding, and responsibilities to serve you. For example, HUD vouchers don't just pop up out of nowhere. It is within the power, funding, and responsibility to the Department of Welfare to be able to help its low-income individuals and families secure stable housing. So when we think about issues like homelessness in the USA, sometimes it's better to look towards the Department of Welfare to solve that rather than politicians who are in commissions, departments, or levels of government where they don't actually have an effect on that problem. Okay. And as a citizen, the first place that you should look when you need shit is the departments who have the power, funding, and responsibility to serve you. That's it. That's all I got to say on it. But look up Project 2025 also.
Okay. Project 2025 is coming after no-fault divorce. Do you know why? Because they want to return us to a time when women were baby factories and relied on their husbands for financial survival. This article, written by Emma Waters in 2022 for the Heritage Foundation, Waters lays the groundwork for opposing no-fault divorce. Now, don't forget, who is the primary organizer of Project 2025? That's right, the Heritage Foundation. Take a look at this 2023 CNN article. This explains the ramp up in Christian nationalist commentators like Matt Walsh continually complain about no-fault divorces and how it harms men. It also explains how House Speaker Mike Johnson has been an opponent of no-fault divorce for years, even though the data clearly shows that because of no-fault divorce, there has been an 8 to 16% reduction in the number of women intentionally leaving themselves. Also, the number of women who have been exposed to domestic violence has been reduced drastically. All thanks to no-fault divorce. In an article earlier this month in The Guardian, it reported that lawmakers in Oklahoma, Louisiana, Nebraska, and of course Texas are working to oppose no-fault divorce. You know what this means. It's only a matter of time before other states will follow. We know that Project 2025 is one of the biggest to human rights. Wow. Project 2025 clearly lays out how they plan to replace all federal employees with Trump loyalists. We also know that Project 2025 is happening right now with the attack on the LGBTQ rights, the elimination of DEI programs, Christian nationalists opposing IVF, and now they're coming after contraception. Under Project 2025, all protections against discrimination based on gender or sexual identity will be eliminated. Project 2025 prioritizes Christian nationalism. It ensures that only white Christian men will remain in power. They do not care who suffers underneath this power structure. Stay awake, use your voice, and vote.
What's Project 2025? It's a nightmare. That's all I can say. It is an absolute nightmare. It is a 920-page book called Mandate for Leadership, The Conservative Promise. It details Project 2025, which is a plan to completely change the way our government works if a conservative candidate is elected president in 2024. I need y'all to understand that voting is no longer an option. We must do it. If a Republican wins this election in 2024, everything that I'm about to say will be set into motion. You think I'm kidding? This is the first page, and they are planning to implement this at 12 o'clock noon on January 20th, 2025, the day that the president is inaugurated. And this plan is not new. It dates all the way back to 1980 when Reagan was president. Really? They actually mention him as the inspiration for a lot of these things that they're trying to implement, which tells you just how bad this actually is, if they're using Reagan as a reference. But they officially launched this in April of 2022, over a year ago. So the project is broken up into 4 pillars. You can pause to read those 4 pillars. Words such as critical race theory and gender ideology are to be struck from curriculum in every public school in every country. They refer to social media apps such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and yes, TikTok as industrial-scale child abuse. They claim that it fuels mental illness and anxiety as well as frays children's bonds with their parents. This highlighted paragraph was just lovely to read. You can pause to read it yourself. It's basically calling for the discrimination of people with addictions, people with mental issues, and people with health issues. As someone with irritable bowel syndrome, I'm a little hurt. I implore every single one of y'all to go on Google, look up Project 2025, find the PDF, and read this for yourself. But I'm going to go over some basic policies that they're trying to implement. I have them on my notes here because 900 pages is a lot to show y'all. Starting with the LGBTQ plus community, specifically transgender individuals. They are attempting to reverse policies that allow transgender people to serve in the military, eliminating transgender coverage under Medicaid and Medicare, and restricting the protection of discrimination, specifically in the context of hiring and firing in places of employment. In other words, this would make it completely legal to fire someone from their job because they are a part of the LGBTQ plus community. This would also rescind all regulations that prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender, identity, etc. Plus, they want to make it legal to discriminate against the LGBTQ plus community in regards to foster care and adoption. Let's talk about abortions and reproductive health because you know they didn't leave that alone. They are talking about completely dismantling the HHS, which is the Health and Human Services, because they promote abortions as a form of healthcare. They're trying to take complete control of the FDA and reverse the approval of chemical abortion drugs, trying to end all state funding for abortions as well as withdrawing Medicaid from states who violate this. They want to completely end sexual education in schools and promote abstinence only. They also want to end abortion training for all medical professionals as well as investigate and prosecute any state medical schools that violate this. Basically outlawing abortion in any way for any situation in every single state in the United States. This includes ectopic pregnancies and partial miscarriages. Oh yeah, they also want to completely eliminate the Department of Education altogether and end federal Pell Grants for colleges and universities. I literally would not have been able to afford to go to college if it wasn't for federal Pell Grants, and now students that are exactly like me are not going to be able to go to college at all. They're also targeting low-income families in regards to school lunches. There's going to be a lot more news stories of lunch ladies telling kids that they can't eat because their parents haven't paid for their school lunch yet. They also want to request work requirements for SNAP. Individuals receiving SNAP will now be required to work a minimum of 20 hours per week, and SNAP benefits will only be available for adult beneficiaries between the ages of 18 and 50 who are not disabled and do not have children or dependents. There's going to be a lot of single mothers with starving children. And, you know, they had to throw in Christianity in there because that's what they love to do. They wish to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and issue an executive order to protect religious employers and employees' right to discriminate for religious reasons. If this comes to pass, your employer can literally fire you for not being a Christian. If you don't believe me, like I said, go read it for yourself. It is 920 pages of nothing but this. Basically, life as we know it will change forever.
Wow. Wow, that is a lot to wow. First up, I thought they only have two parties in the U.S., the Democrat and the Republican. I never knew there was an independent. Let me know if that's for real. I never knew there was a third party because all I've heard all my life is either the Democrat or the Republican. Really? So why is nobody voting for the other part, the third party, the independent party? Why? And then the no fault divorce. Please, I don't know what that is. If you know what that is, which I'm going to really read a lot about this because I'm going to go read more about this. But please, if you know what no fault divorce is and what it states, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. There's a whole lot of questions I have in my head about this whole thing, and I do appreciate if you guys can educate me and people like me down in the comment section, okay? But please, as you share your thoughts, please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree and agree on everything, so share your thoughts, but please be respectful about it. We don't tussle around. We're just here to have conversation, okay? So here's my thought on some of the things I picked and I get. If you know me, if you know this channel, you know I can go really very sentimental when it comes to how politics is being run and how it affects us as people and all that. But one of the reasons too I'm also doing this is because because a lot of people will say, oh, you're in Nigeria. You know, first off, a lot of my audience are from the United States. Second off is that most times when anything happens in the United States, it usually trickles down on the rest of the part of the world, especially part of the world that are still being held strongly by colonization and all that. So yeah, whether I like it or not, if it's happening there, it's only a matter of time, then it will come here. This is the thing I personally, I do believe strongly that my votes don't count, and that's not because it's just because of the government, but it also has to do with us. When it comes to my country, Nigeria, they usually use the common people to fight against the common people when it comes to election, and I feel like it's almost the same thing or almost all over the world. But I feel like my own country can really get very aggressive and dangerous, and that's why when it comes to election, is they already put that fear in people's mind so that they don't come out to vote, because during election time a lot of people sometimes get unalive injured just because you go out to cast your vote. But in a state of like in the United States, where yes, there's a whole lot of manipulation still going on by these political powerful people, but yeah, they have that freedom and it's safe to go vote. So why won't you go vote? Why won't you do it? Like, why don't you just go cast your votes, represent yourself, and see what goes on? But I really do feel like voting, and even especially as people, we need to start standing up for ourselves. Whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Nigeria, whatever country you're at, we need to start standing up for ourselves, because whether you like it or not, a lot of these politicians, they are looking out for themselves. And coming to the state of the United States, mostly most of these laws just benefits the men, especially the white men, while in my country most of these laws benefit the man. And as women, we need to be very intentional. Like I always talk about here on this channel, how we need to be very intentional, how we live our life and how we navigate our life, because this is just going to affect us. And I feel like it also has to do with voting. Clearly you can see that one of the biggest thing in the Project 25 that really struck my nerves is the fact that they want to stop abortion. They want to take away birth control away from women. They want to take divorce right for women. And for me, this is just a scary place, because we've talked about how men use children to trap women. So when a woman doesn't have a choice over her body to say, okay, this is what I want to do, that is one step of taking one right away from us as women, and it's a no-no. Here in Nigeria, that right is taken away from us women, because it is illegal for you as a woman to go to an hospital and ask for an abortion. And I would say living in a society that is illegal, we've seen a lot of terrible things happen to women and younger girls. We've seen girls got pregnant and they go do it illegally with illegal hospital doctors because it is not officially legal. And we've seen a lot of girls unalive themselves just because they don't want this baby and they can have this baby, and they go do something about it illegally and do it in the wrong way because they can't go to an official hospital to get it done, and it was done wrongly. And sometimes they unalive themselves, sometimes they lost their womb and all that. And coming from someone that lives in a society that is a scary thing to live with, and then especially from a society that has had the freedom of having control over their body and what they choose to do with their body, and now it's been taken away from them. Like, that's really scary. So I really want everybody to really go dive into the project 2025 to know more about this project 2025, because I feel like when it comes to this politics and all that, sometimes they just hide a lot of these things blatantly in our face and we don't know. We just go ahead and vote out, stand with our opinion without us having the full information, because a lot of the time information are being held and they know information is power, so they're going to withhold a lot of information if we don't get ourselves informed, because I feel like information is very powerful and these people know how powerful information is, so they are withholding information with us, because if we're well informed we make a better world decision and cast our vote better. So yes, I'm so here for it, guys. If you know more about the 2025, go on, educate us down in the comment section, go read up on it. Look, if you can read like me, like reading is really difficult for you, look for audiobooks, audio document, people that are really in depth on it, and be informed, because some people will say, oh, like the other lady said, like, oh, it's a scary tactics to get. I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything, but we need to get ourselves informed so that we can make a wise decision that protects us, especially as women and especially as Black women. Shout out to Taraji Henson and Kerry Washington that actually spoke up on this and tried to inform people, because since Taraji spoke on it, that search of Project 2025 went skyrocket on Google search. So it's very important. A lot of time people say, as people, especially as celebrities, that they don't have voice, but we can see how powerful the voice of a celebrity is, and even our voice, even as a people, are more powerful, because whether you like it or not, these people, they need us, the people, to get into power, and there will be no election. And also, I also want to touch about how the abortion thing is even going to affect us women. And I feel like one of the reasons why they are so bent on bringing those things back is the fact that a lot of women are educating themselves, who are getting informed. And some women, like myself and some other women here on this channel, are saying that, you know what, we're going to choose ourselves, we're going to center ourselves, we're going to be very intentional with our life. And some women are choosing not to have children. And I feel like it's telling on the government, is telling on the society, and society need more workforce, so they are taking our right to our body to make the decision for ourselves. So yeah, I really want to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section, but you guys know how to do it. Keep it respectful as always. Here on the channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought. Don't forget to share this video. It's very important to share this particular video. Don't forget to share this video with someone that you want to be part of the conversation, because that helps be part of the conversation, because it's very important for us to have this conversation, guys. Please go ahead and share this video, and this also helps YouTube when you share this video to push out this content to more people. That will be you also supporting this channel and this girl here, so go ahead and do that. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because that also helps YouTube to push out my content to more people. Okay, so when you share, you comment, you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, now is the time. Smash the subscribe button. That helps YouTube to know that this video is a valuable video, and they will push it out to more people. So go ahead and do all those amazing stuff. With that all said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.